Welcome back to the City of Palms podcast. Two brothers got together to shine light on talented individuals in the Southwest Florida area. Thank you for watching, viewing, and subscribing.
Episode 117.
We're back, you boys in the studio, and we are back at it. We are energized though on this one. I don't know what's different.
Espresso.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, John.
And IBC. Shout out to IBC root beer. Shout out 9 Club. Keep me dripped up.
Yes,
Hey,
sir. Praise the
skaters,
Lord
Florida
for a
skaters.
wonderful week.
Yes, sir. Amen.
Rough week. Wonderful week.
Yeah, it's funny, dude, to me when you call me and you're like, there's another fight at the school. I'm like, bro, you're going to see so many.
It's just an a crazy amount though.
I know. Kids will be kids, man.
So
It's a mini UFC. That's all it is.
for real. It's
That's
just
all it is.
I got to put myself in their brains sometimes. One thing I wanted to ask you, because I feel like we'll have different opinions on this, is like obviously what I have to tell the kids is like fighting solves literally nothing, and that like you need to learn to control your emotions and this and that. But then sometimes I think, and I'm like, whenever I see like kids messing with each other, especially like two boys like messing with each other, or like just being like making fun, like taking each other's stuff or something. Like sometimes a punch does teach you a lesson. Like sometimes like getting punched in the face does teach you a lesson, or like getting your ass whooped does teach you to not like treat people like that. So I wanted your opinion on like I mean, I still stand firm that you should never fight anyone ever unless it's like an organized like sporting kind of like thing, but it shouldn't be like disagreement ending in blood and fists. But what's your take on like do you think people just need to like battle it out sometimes, just let them hash it out? Because there was a fight at the bus stop the other day, and I talked to the girl today in the hallways, and she said they're good now. She's like, we're cool now, but they fought at the bus stop and like beat each other up, but now they're good. Do they just need to get it out?
I mean, yeah. Here's what I'll say. I'll say a couple things about that. So one, I want to say the age. You know, they're at that age where their body's going through some changes that they don't know, they've never seen, and they're dealing with hormones that they don't know how to really deal with. So, what they do with that is they snap, dude. They snap on people, and
Half the fights have been about relationship sort of things too.
Relationship sort of things.
Yeah,
Boys
like
and girls.
fighting over boys or whatever.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. In that age, and again, plays into what's on TV. Like, dude, when I was in middle school, what was hot on TV that every single kid watched, I didn't because I didn't have cable, was Jersey Shore. So everyone wanted to go to the gym, everyone wanted to be tan and go to the beach, and nobody wanted to do laundry. But that was their thing, is GTL, gym, tan, laundry. That was Jersey Shore's motto. But nobody wanted to do the laundry. They just wanted to gym and tan. And but you know, Jersey Shore's crazy, bro. They go out, they drink, they fight. Middle schoolers aren't really going out and drinking. When I was there, I mean, I'd imagine now they do. I'm sure they did, but nobody that I hung out with in middle school was really drinking or smoking.
Yeah, it's more of a high
Just
school
kinda
thing.
Whatever, yeah. Although I did know some kids that still did, but there's always the outliers.
The 12-year-old.
I know, dude.
12-year-old.
And then you meet the kid in high school, like you guys are like 18 or like out of high school, and he's like, I'm smoking since I was 11. You're like, makes sense. You're the manager at Circle K.
I haven't been doing anything since I was 11, except like watching Dragon Ball Z.
Literally. No, but yeah. So I mean, yeah, dude. It and you're trying to prove something at that age too. Like I remember, I can put myself back at that age, back in those shoes, and I remember like getting in fights, thinking
You earn some sort of like
I'm a shit now. Like,
And that's what the girl said today too. She said, "You know how much clout I gained after the fight?" And I just like rolled my eyes, and I was like, "Really?"
And it's sad, but it's true.
Yeah, it is.
Like that video went around school, like you know,
it did.
Views,
dude.
probably
Even the
popped
teachers
off
were
on
talking about
anything.
it. Even the teachers were talking about it.
And that's what's sad. That's what's sad about today's day and age. You know, but ultimately, I mean, yeah, no, you're right. Violence doesn't solve anything. But what I'll say, like, you know, I don't know. This may be a wrong sort of thing, but like, dude, say, okay. And my wife might be listening to this like, no, we're going to do something totally different. But if I'm thinking about raising my kids, going to school, like me personally, I don't really see myself sending my kids to public school. I'd rather probably send them to a private school or homeschool them. That's for another conversation.
Yeah.
But am going to raise him, like, if my son is getting picked on, bullied, not just picked on, because the world is tough. Don't just swing at every, life's going to get hard.
People are going to call you
names.
names.
Don't just act out of anger. But yeah, dude, if someone is bullying you, but making fun of my kid, hurting him, taking his stuff, stealing his stuff, like I've seen
messing with his
ugly.
lunch.
I've been bullied. Yeah, bro, then I'm going to teach him to, punch that kid in his mouth.
That's the tough part in my position, because there's a lot of kids whose parents, whose fathers, kind of teach them that way, where it's like if someone's messing with you in the bathroom, throwing whatever over the thing, getting wet toilet paper on you, you beat their ass. But that's I have to tell them the opposite.
I wouldn't do that. Again, I'm at the end of the day, dude,
I think what's important...
Your hands... My bad. Well...
I cut you off. Go ahead.
So your hands are even at that age, even if they don't know how to fight, your hands are weapons, dude. And so you got to use them respectfully. If a kid, if I were in that situation, if a kid, or if my son, I would be pissed at my son if a kid is throwing wet toilet paper over and he gets out and beats his ass. No, dude. Yeah. You get out, you leave the bathroom. You stop what you're doing, you pinch that thing off, and you go to a different bathroom. For real.
Yeah.
And
it's important to stand up for yourself. I think regardless of the physical aspect, I think you need to teach your kids to stand up for yourself in those situations.
Sure. Yeah. If it were a 2-time occurrence, if this kid did it, you're like, all right, I'm gonna leave the bathroom, and then the next day this kid tries to trip you or does something stupid, the same kid, and he's singling you out. Yeah, dude. First, I'm always going to teach my kid to start with verbal agreements. Communication is key.
Yeah. Just straight up say. Straight up say. Me? I'm trying to dump one right now, bro.
Yeah. Or just straight up say, as much as it sucks, just straight up say, hey, man, you're bullying me. Stop.
Yeah, that really bothers me.
Yeah, that upsets me. You need to relax. And then if he continues to do it, punch him in his mouth, dude.
But see...
Couple of step process.
Now,
wait, let me say, there's a caveat to this. If I got a daughter and a son that's both in school, my daughter, I don't even care what's happened to her, gets looked at the wrong way, freaking treated any type of way, by a boy, made fun of, whatever, this and that, my son's going, his duty's got to be to go over there and protect his sister, where she can't, because women are always going to feel... I mean, not always, but vulnerable. I feel a lot of feel vulnerable or less than to a man. Yeah. Even at that age, they may feel
especially at that age.
Yeah. So, boy.
But what about this? Because what I advise always is when you're in if it's on the streets, that it's a little different, I think. But if you're in school under the supervision of specific adults, added a syllable. Adults. Stand up for yourself, speak with your words, at what they're doing to you and how it's making you feel. And if they still persist and they still just be middle school kids, don't stop, keep it up. Go get someone. Go get me. Go get admin. Go get security. Go get some. But then you become
you become a B word.
But why? If someone robs my house, I'm getting the police to arrest them. It's the same thing.
Someone robs my
house.
Well,
if they're inside my house, you might have to do stuff before you to end the threat before you call the police. But it's
no, I mean that's
there's procedures set in place when you're in school. If you're out on the street and someone's messing with you, it's a little different, because then it's can't get a hold of a cop within, that person could straight up hurt you really badly if you don't stand your ground or
and I think
whatever.
It's just the way kids see it. But maybe not.
I'm gonna let him go on real quick while you talk.
Shoot, he's still outside. You let him have to mark his territory again. He had to. He had to. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the way a lot of the kids perceive it, because I don't know, man. But then I don't know, man, because even adults, dude, I know a lot of adults who just, it feels like they've never really grown up. They're still
Yeah.
Oh, you know, so and so said this and that. Like, I'm like, dude, it just comes with, I don't know, like, I don't know, man. I don't. People are crazy, but I don't really know. I don't know. I probably just something to do with like a mentality, way you were raised, what's in your head.
Yeah. It's just bad to. I think it's bad to have that like hierarchical mentality in like society or like the microcosm of like school, like the society of your school and like peers and stuff like that. Just to have that like power dynamic of like such and such is greater than such and such because they fought them and weren't afraid to like throw hands, weren't afraid to go to timeout, weren't afraid to get referrals. Like there's almost like a clout system almost, and I don't think it should be like that. You know what I mean? But it's like it's almost like in our nature.
And it's gotten 1,000 times worse.
Oh yeah.
And you know, since like, dude, when we were in middle school, high school, like there wasn't a David Dobrik. You feel me? Like not until later in like high school. For me, for you, it wasn't even really. You know, they were like, you know, whatever. And now, it's all kids do, bro. It's all they see. It's all they want to be.
Yeah.
So everything the kid is doing is like for content. Even if it's not being filmed, it's gonna be talked about in forms of like, dude, you know, we're even talking about some middle school fights on podcasts that are worldwide, dude. It's the biggest podcast.
If you're in Japan listening to this, welcome to Florida.
We got listeners in Oshawa.
Where's that?
Is that even a place? It sounded like it was in Canada.
Joshua without the J.
Oshawa,
Ottawa is what you're thinking of.
Dude, that's what I wanted to say. That's what I thought I said. But one thing. Is anybody from Thanota-Sasa? Thanota-Sasa. We're going back, baby.
Going back, boy.
That's actually not what I wanted to touch on first. Terrible segment. What we will touch on. Jacksonville. We're coming back, baby.
Jacksonville, boy.
Literally something I wanted to ask you. Do you know who the Neck Boys are?
I've heard the name, but I don't really know a single thing about them.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That's crazy.
I've heard the name. I don't know.
You probably see so much like Full Send stuff around the middle school too. You ever see like merch with like Full Send, slides with like Full Send?
It's not. It's one of those things where like I'm sure if like you showed me what their merch looks like, I'll see it everywhere now. But I don't know what it looks like, so I don't really ever see it. I see Full Send all the time, but like, I mean, I know that like phrase, but usually associated with like Nija saying like send it.
Yeah.
Like in the skateboard context.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So the Nelk Boys, they're doing all sorts of crazy stuff. I don't watch their YouTube videos either. I've watched a couple of the stuff. They're funny, dude. They do some crazy stuff, but they're super funny. Their videos are funny, but they've always been big on. I mean, they don't get paid off YouTube, so they strictly
because they're totally unmonetized.
100%. Yeah, so they strictly get paid off of merch and other things like that they've dabbled into. One of those things being a podcast, bro. These kids, guys, they're like our age. Started a podcast. They already had the following from YouTube. They're one of the biggest, YouTube. But bro, out of nowhere, started a podcast. They got one of the biggest podcasts now, the Full Send podcast.
Wow.
It's a cool podcast. They've gotten some crazy guests, like, and they're actually doing it right. It's cool. It's cool to see like kids who have like got big off YouTube for doing like crazy like, stunts and pranks and stuff like that. They're like, they had Donald Trump on, bro.
No way.
Yes, and it got
post-presidency.
Yes, bro. They had Donald Trump on like a couple weeks ago. Got deleted on all platforms. I watched it before it got deleted. Yeah, because I watched their podcast and I got notified.
Did they talk hella politics? About like the current administration and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course it got taken down.
Oh yeah. But well, I mean, I'll tell you off air, kind of, if you want to know like more of what was talked about. Yeah. I'm not gonna mention anything because I don't want to touch this episode.
Yeah, we don't
got
it.
Good episode, but. It was crazy. They've had a lot of guests on, dude. One of the most recent episodes they had on was Snoop Dogg, and it was like super cool. Like these guys are really doing it good. And however, you know how like it's common that in podcasting like you don't pay for like guests.
Mm-hmm.
I almost think 100% they're paying for guests.
If they got Donald Trump, absolutely they paid for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't just watch their content and he's like, oh, I'd love to be on the
no,
Notebooks.
what he said was what he said was okay, so they had Dana White on first. Dana White, do you know who Dana White is?
Yeah.
Dana White's the owner of UFC. Dana
He was
White
vice president?
What?
I'm just kidding.
I was like, wait, what?
I thought he was Donald Trump's vice president.
No.
No, I know
no,
who
but
he is.
Dana White and Donald Trump have been friends for like years. For like 10, 15
so
years.
maybe...
So they have Nelk Boys have a really solid connection with Dana White. So that's how he got them on. But other people that they've gotten on, I can't think of it for sure, but there was one person where, so I've been watching like Logan Paul's podcast, you know, for a while now, for years. And there was one guest that they were supposed to have on that then didn't come on, but then later came on the Nelk Boys. And
oh, what?
yeah, and I was like, and they're like, how they were talking about it, like, how'd you get it? How'd you get them? They're like, they got to be paying them. And then they had, what other guest they had? Caitlyn Jenner or something like that, or Bruce Jenner or something another. I think they put Caitlyn Jenner or something.
Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner.
It's Caitlyn Jenner,
her name
right?
now.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, they put that, and I was like, they just getting guests where I'm like, I mean, they're probably 20 episodes in. Like,
wow.
Yeah, like I'm
What?
saying that. Yeah.
It's that new?
Yes.
Do they do it weekly or is it like
18th,
whenever?
Snoop Dogg was their 18th episode.
Do they do it weekly or is it like whenever they can?
do it weekly. Yeah.
Wow,
They do it
so
weekly.
it's brand new.
Dave Portnoy, Caitlyn Jenner, Rick Ross, Colby Covington, Lil Durk, Alex Jones, Donald Trump.
They have to be paying them. They have to be. Because like, yeah. Because I mean,
Kodak.
Because if it's a big
Jamie Foxx.
they got to be.
Candace Owens.
I don't know who that is.
She's in politics, I think. Mike Tyson.
Well, good for them, man.
Gary Vee, Antonio Brown.
Shout out Nelk
They
Boys.
had Antonio Brown was their first guest.
Was that right after?
That was the one that was paying, and that was right after he stripped the field. That was the one I thought that's the one.
Was supposed to be on Impulsive?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. And that's the one where I was like,
they got
to
to hear his perspective.
Oh, yeah.
On all that.
Literally, like,
No wonder they blew up.
yeah, they upload their episodes on Monday, and they uploaded it the Monday or the Sunday he walked out on that game.
How? Wait.
He went from the game to
No
there.
way.
Yes. Yes.
I gotta know what their program is, dude.
These guys are, bro.
That's why he left the field. He's like, I'm just going. The Nelk Boys are waiting on me anyways.
No, bro. He wouldn't give him like even a real answer. He was just giving him
Yeah.
a trolling answer. He was just like,
Because it was just something out of emotion. Like he's just.
he was pissed. He was
Yeah.
pissed. But yeah, dude.
Well, shout out them. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
That's one way to pop off his podcast.
What can we do? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're doing it.
We had King Rock. Where's it?
No, I mean, we've had
had Lutz
bangers.
twice.
We've had bangers.
We've
no,
had Lutz twice.
we've had bangers.
We have.
No, like I said, man, they came with an audience. They started
Yeah.
their podcast with an audience.
And it's all like I don't know. I don't really like. I don't know.
It's very structured to what the ears want to hear.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
yeah.
We touched on it. We may as well just finish it. You know, we may as well just dive fully into it. The fact that we're going back to Jacksonville, baby.
Speaking of Thanotasasa,
Sasa, we coming through you. Jacksonville, we
we're
coming
not
through
stopping
you.
there because I don't know what's there.
That's it, baby.
But we're coming through you. We're gonna see the sign on the interstate Thanotasasa on our way to SLS Jacks.
Yes, dude,
Second
I'm
year in a row.
hyped. And you know what? What was that? ViStar Veterans Arena. That's where it's being hosted at.
Yes, sir.
Right now, I'm going on Google Maps. I'm finding.
You're picking the hotel.
The nearest.
You're picking the hotel, boy, because you got good last time.
And we're sleeping with Nigel.
I was about to say.
Sleeping with
I was
you,
gonna say that
baby.
exact same phrase, and then I stopped myself because I'm like, we're not sleeping with Nigel,
But we're sleeping with Nigel.
but we're gonna see him in the lobby.
For real, dude. That was so funny, dude.
It
Just
really that was.
casually seeing like,
I still have the key card from that Hyatt in my wallet.
that's lit.
Gonna keep it in there forever.
That's lit.
Trip of a lifetime. Made
That-
friends with Steve Barra.
That made me, bro. And I'm looking now. It looks like the arena is right by the Florida State College at Jacksonville, and I bet you there's so many spots in there.
For the listeners that might not know, SLS is Street League Skateboarding, and it's the most elite contest circuit in the whole world for skateboarding. and it's something that I've followed since it began. I think 2009 was when it started. In high school, I remember being in my technology class, looking up. I would finish my work on the computer in the tech class, and then I would spend the whole rest of the class, the whole like hour or whatever, watching the latest Street League contest, watching Nyjah dominate, and it was so much fun watching it like just develop. And now what it is, it's like a worldwide contest, the best skaters in the whole world, and then seeing the Super Crown last year with you, dude, was. You found a hotel?
Same hotel?
No way.
Yes.
The arena's that close? No way.
You see the arena? See the hotel?
I did. Wait, is that field where it was last time?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Remember the arena right next to?
That's right. Bro, this is going to be such a good trip,
Bro,
man.
this is going to be insane.
So,
bro, we're going back.
It's going to be different because last time it was the Super Crown, but it's going to be... Well, let me try to think how they do it, because this is going to be stop 1 of the 2022 contest circuit. So, it's going to be bigger. It's going to be longer. It's going to be a longer contest, I think, because they're going to have, like, the one day is going to be all qualifiers, right? Because last time they just had the LCQ, last chance qualifier, for the people last minute wanting to squeeze into the Super Crown final, and then they did the final with like the 8 skaters or whatever for the men and women's. But I think this time they're going to have a whole qualifier where there's going to be like tons of skaters qualifying all day, like a bunch of heats, and then it's going to go into the finals.
What's a LCQ? What does that say?
Last chance qualifier. Because Super Crown, you have to qualify to get into the Super Crown Championship. It's like based on like how many like wins you have, and like it's like a point system type thing, and then at the end of the season they do the Super Crown Championship, which is like the best of the best from the whole circuit. But every stop of the Street League has a winner and like a podium and stuff like that, and it starts out by qualifiers, and that then get into the finals for that stop, and then there's a winner for that stop, and then it all leads up to the Super Crown. So this one being stop 1, it's going to be pretty cool to experience, especially because I think this is the first one in the arena that they've done since like all the COVID craziness. Because I think back when we went, they still had I think sporting events still had some like stipulations they had to follow as far as COVID guidelines. So now this one's going to be back in the arena. We're going to hear the roar of the crowd, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So awesome, bro.
So a quick question on that, because I'm looking at how much it's going to be.
Bro, start recording.
Because looking at how much it's going to be for hotels and stuff.
We don't have to go too many details on air, but
I know. Do you want to? Would you? It's Saturday and Sunday. Would you want to go up Friday and stay there too?
Yes,
yeah. Because that'll be for a longer weekend.
So fun. Right after work. Well, actually,
your summer.
Oh, it's summer. Well, it will still be after work, but I don't think I'll get out as late as I do in the school right now, since I've been doing summer camp.
I don't know if this is the same hotel. Was it Hyatt Regency, Jacksonville Riverfront?
It was. Hyatt Regency.
Was it 225 East Coastline?
I don't know the address.
It was right on the water there, so it looks the same. I'll figure that out. We'll do that afterward. But dude, that's gonna be legendary. Jacksonville, we're coming back. Thanota Sasso, we're coming through you. Jacksonville, we're coming to you.
So I know it's super hard to predict this early on, but I'm wondering who like some of the top names this year are gonna be. Who the top names of like podiums are gonna be? Because I feel like it's been changing a lot, dude. Because before it was like you can kind of guess who's gonna be in the final, who's gonna be like top 3, who's gonna be top 1. 80% chance it's gonna be the one name.
Yeah.
But this year, I feel like, dude, like I'm wondering what your thoughts are.
I need to see who's all going in first, cause I don't even know. I would say, I mean, you got your obvious, you know, Nyjah's gonna be up there, Shane's gonna be up there, Jagger's gonna be up there.
You think P-Rod's gonna be up there?
Because
P-Rod was back in the Super Crown, but that was like his first big contest after his knee injury. Now he's back. He's killing it now. So he might be up there, dude.
I don't think he will be.
True. I feel that. True.
You probably
because dude, you got to think.
Well, he was at Jacksonville last time.
Yeah, but I was saying that was like his first major contest since. Back. Yeah. So he was like still getting in the groove, and now he's been skating his park.
Okay.
He's been killing it.
I'd say, how old is Paul?
30s, probably. Let me look. I'm gonna guess 37.
Wow. So he got pro. He was like killing it from a young age too.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Paul
gonna say-
Rodriguez Jr. is 1984. It just brought up Wikipedia. Come on, man.
38. 36.
Paul Rodriguez is 37. Is that what I said?
I think so.
I think that's what I said.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say Paul's got it. I'll say Paul will get there. Wait, are you?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Are you talking top 3?
Top, like, could win one. Like, could win a stop of this street league circuit. Paul Rodriguez being the top name holding the gold trophy. Because you got to think, there's insane levels of skateboarding. Like, bro, even just before Super Crown that we went to, I was looking at like old street leagues before COVID, and like some of the tricks that get done on a regular basis is like, what? Like, dude, how Gustavo Ribeiro can do like tray flip nose blunts in his run. It's like, how? Aurelien Giroux can do like Chris Jocelyn can just unfathomable tricks like back 360 kickflips, nollie back 360 heels, like first try. When this is like, P-Rod has the tricks too, don't get me wrong, but there's like video game level skateboarding going on. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And Shane too. Shane can do like switch flip back tail.
Everyone
switch
competing
big flip
in that
out.
contest.
Jagger Eaton too
Gnarly.
is on another level.
Gnarly. Jagger, oof, gnarly. Who do you think is gonna win it? Let's just say who do you think will win Jacksonville while we're there?
Let me think. Be way easier if we knew the lineup. Don't know the lineup, but I'm gonna say I'd be interested to see how Nija does, because I know he's dropping hella footage this year, and he didn't win Super Crown, which was it. He won 3 Super Crowns in a row, and then he lost Jacksonville when we went, and so I'm wondering how he's gonna do.
And this isn't Super Crown. This is
just stop one.
This is the first stop of the whole tour.
Yuto also wasn't in Super Crown because he had just won the Olympics, so he was on some like.
Yuto is gonna be there.
Yuto is like up there
saw
with
his
video
name on
game
the
level
lineup.
tricks too, and it's too hard to guess. Let me just who do I got faith in? I think first place is going to go to. I'm gonna say Nija.
That's a solid pick. I'm gonna
Because he always surprises me. I want to say that people like some of these younger guys that are just doing crazy video game stuff are gonna win it, but like I feel like Nija is gonna come out with some tricks we never seen before.
Yeah.
Cab flip nose blunt.
I'd agree.
Actually, we've seen that before.
I'd agree. I could definitely see Nija taking it. I'm gonna say, if you're going with Nija,
Shane O'Neal's also been on one though.
I want to say Shane.
And then there's Gustavo Ribeiro, who can tray flip into any grind.
Exactly. But then there's Jagger, who won.
Lands everything first try.
But also won Jackson. Like, think about it from his standpoint. We're like, oh, last stop
the
at
Super
Lax
Crown
one.
champion.
He took it. So it's like to come back to that city. Turn up.
Not to mention, like, his first try tricks, like switch back nose blunt, switch back Smith, like
he's so good.
Switch flip back lip, like all these tricks that like.
If I had to give it to somebody,
and his training skills, it depends on the course greatly too. It depends on the course. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
Because Aurelien Giroux, he's healthy now. He had knee surgery last year, and now he's like back to.
Is he an SLS contender? Yeah.
He'll probably be in it. He was in Jacksonville when we went, but he didn't make the last chance qualifier to the finals because he was having injury issues. So he wasn't like on his top level.
Does Jake Alardi, he competes in SLS.
I don't think he was injured at Jacksonville Super Crown, but yeah, I think he has competed. He's another one that like he's another one that's just been like insanely good.
If I were to give it to anybody, it would probably be just right now without even looking at the course or the lineup or anything. I would be between.
Yuto's also a gold medalist.
I was about to say Yuto. Yuto, Shane. Really, Yuto and Shane. I mean, I could definitely see Jagger taking it.
Dude, someone else though.
I'd probably say Yuto.
That can't be ruled out is Kelvin Hoffler.
Exactly.
Because dude, when I've been watching the last handful of street leagues, his tricks too are just like kickflip front blunt down the biggest rail in the park.
He's unreal.
Yeah.
He seems like the most humble guy. He seems
so cool. He just seems like the chillest guy.
Yeah.
He did, dude. There was like, I put it on my Instagram story, but there was one point where like the contest was so intense, like so heated. Every trick, people were landing 9s, and it was just like the leaderboard was just bouncing like ping pong. And Kelvin needed a really high score to like stay up in first, and he does down the biggest rail. He does like a half cab overcrook to fakie, so like caballerial, but lands in an overcrook in the middle of the rotation, and it was just the craziest thing. And he just looked like a badass dude, because as he's rolling away, he just like perfect landing, just goes like just does the little like little like goes like that, and then he just like looks up at the like the big screens, and he's just like he's just like, yeah, I did it. He's so good.
He's killing it. I'm hyped because so last year when we went, my car was stock, and now this year when we go back, it's gonna be fully tuned. Fully tuned.
Kitted, bro.
Praise God. Which on that note, my cats got shipped out today.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Dude, I cannot
that
wait.
deserves that.
So
I mean,
we did it. So once they get here, then it'd be a matter of going to the guy who's gonna tune it in Sarasota.
you really did that.
You really did that.
Man, God.
Yep.
God did that.
Yeah, God did that. He really did that. we need that soundboard.
Or no, we need. Thank you, Lord. That's what we need. Thank you, Lord. That's what we need right there. Yeah, but so it's first off, and I was just telling Bree, like when I get my cats, I'm gonna probably request off like a weekend. Go to the exhaust shop on Friday, get my exhaust put on. Saturday, drive to Sarasota, and get it tuned.
Sunday, pull up to church real nice.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank you, God.
Yeah. Yeah. Whew.
Steward over everything he's providing you.
Yeah, man. I'm
Blessed.
hyped. It seems too good to be true. I mean, like for anybody who just doesn't know kind of what I'm doing, I basically bought a G37, 2013 G37 sedan XS. For those who don't know, that means all-wheel drive, sport,
Extra speed.
sport version, XS speed. So it's cool. It's a nice car, black on black. I love it.
Copied me.
I wanted the car for a minute, but even before I got the car, I looked at them like when they were like all done up, and I love it. Like I was like, oh man, I love it. Really wanted one with like the exhaust and everything like that. Took me a while to really find the car I wanted, and when I got it, dream come true. But now everything that I'm doing, it really, like, I've never had something as nice as what I'm about to have car wise. Like
I think about that, dude.
I'm always like the car I'm driving now is by far the nicest car I've ever had, but what I'm about to do to it is like life changing. Because for me as a car guy, I love this stuff, dude, and I've always
tried to like get to it.
Never had the funds. Like it's expensive.
You've always
bro.
taken the like whatever route you could, whatever cheap routes, just being content with what you got and
cut
like
the mufflers and straight pipe it, and it's been great. Like I love that, but like this one, dude, like all in, like okay, let me just all in mod list really quick, like not to like brag or flex, but just to really like put it out there for if you're wondering, like if you see my car in the future and you like what I've done, like this is what I've done to it, just on the motor. So air intakes, I got 2 cold air intakes still in. That was $600. Then I got the exhaust, full Motordyne catback exhaust, Shockwave, which is $2,200. Then I got catalytic converters, which I think were like, let me see, $400. Yeah, $400 because it made the exhaust like $2,600 total. And then the tune, which all in for the first tune is going to be about $700. So that's $1,000. That's $1,700 plus 22, 7, 8, 9, $3,900.
not bad, all things considered.
Really not bad.
To go from stock to Danny Mobile.
Danny Mobile, yes sir. Yeah, really not bad. But looking at that, before when I had a $3,000 truck, how are you gonna put $3,000 in?
Yeah.
And even within it's not worth it. Like with what I used to have. Like even my Mustang, I had a V6 Mustang, which I don't even know what I did to the exhaust on that. I think I just bought like new mufflers and had them welded on and cut this catalytic out, cut the cat out. I don't know, but yeah, it's gonna be nice, man.
And I'm so happy for you, dude, because you really deserve it. Like you've gone your whole life just like, kind of like really wanting this in your heart, like really wanting a vehicle that is like your car, you know, and like just you feel confident pulling up in it, feel comfortable in it, and now every time you pull up in the driveway, I'm like, what a good looking car, dude. Thanks, you deserve it, man. You deserve it. You've been working hard.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, I love it.
God's blessing you.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yes, he is. Dude, you had said something earlier that sparked my interest where I was like, whoa, you hate the Berrics this year.
Yeah, I did want to touch on that in this episode. So
talk to me.
Yeah, a big topic I wanted to talk about tonight was the Battle of the Berrics, because the finals are a couple months away. And a couple things I wanted to say. I wanted to like kind of discuss, you know, just our ideas on like who we think is going to, because now it's like getting into round 2, like, you know, getting halfway through round 2 and everything. It's starting, the bracket, you can kind of like see how it's forming. And I wanted to kind of like swap ideas on who we think might take it. But I also wanted to share my opinions on this year, because honestly, I love the Berrics, kind of like Street League. I've been following the Berrics as a skater since I was a kid, you know, like watching their content and all their skate parks they've developed and how they've evolved. And Battle of the Berrics has been not only the best flat ground contest of all time, because I love flat ground. That's one of like my favorite aspects of skating, is like playing horse, you know, like that horse. I just love just how basic it is at its roots. Is just like you do a trick, that person has to do that trick. It just comes down to consistency and what tricks you've practiced and what your bag of tricks are. So not only is this the greatest flat ground contest of all time, but it's one of the greatest contests of all time, you know? Like, especially with how they've updated it every year. It hasn't just been like, here's another Battle of the Berrics. 3, here's the skaters we picked. Here's Battle of the Berrics. 4, here's the skaters we picked. There's always like a theme to it, you know what I mean? There's always like some new twist to it, where they had like pros versus Joes. They had like us versus them, where it's US versus other countries of the world. Mm-hmm. And now, but this year, I gotta say, this is the worst Battle of the Berrics they've ever done. Because so I'll put it to you this way. When I lived in Pennsylvania, like just communicating with you guys digitally, like, you know, over social media and over the phone and stuff, it was cool how we could all kind of follow the Berrics that year, and we followed like each round and who we thought. I think Will Davis even wanted to, like, we started doing some sort of like or no, they did, the Berrics did like a guessing thing, where like, I don't know what you call it, but like you predict, you know, who you think is going to take each round, what the letters are going to be, and you can win like prizes and stuff, kind of like with football games, you know, like betting and all that. What's the word that's escaping me? Isn't there a word for that? Like, Bub, please, you've been doing so good. Well, no, it's like, it's not fantasy football, but it's like where you like how March Madness, like there's whole families that get together to like bet on March Madness. Cool. Like, yeah, like you could do that. What? He farted. Come on, bro. On, he just comes over here and starts barking, and then he farts and leaves.
That's disgusting, dude. That smells so bad.
Don't even start. How dare you fart? Don't even start. No, okay, but I got off track. But what I was getting at was, dude,
stop, Gohan.
This is why we only get 3 views. You can't follow it this year. They put like 80,000 names, and I think the sentiment behind it is cool, because it's like uniting. You know, like they wanted to unite all the different like kind of sectors of skateboarding, where there's like the influencers and there's the legendary pros, there's like the dudes that are in the street, the like contest circuits, the pros, there's the Joes that are like, you know, not as known but still killing it. Like put them all together and see who's the best flat ground skater. But it became so crazy, and the whole debacle with the influencers group. That's one thing with the predictions I wanted to point out, is like, I almost can't guess the predictions because I don't even know what the bracket is doing. Where'd Shane O'Neill go? He ain't on the bracket.
Yo, what?
Was he ever on the bracket? He was, wasn't he? Yeah, because Kelly Hart was like if I beat Chris Roberts, I'm going to have to play Shane O'Neill, of all people, to play next. He's like, I have to play Shane O'Neill or Ashad. Neither of them are in the bracket right now.
What?
Look at it.
I'm
Neither of
looking
them.
at it.
And then look, like Mike Vallely was supposed to play, I don't remember who, but then remember that video where it got switched to Tyler Peterson? And then look at the icons bracket where it says Mike Vallely versus Tyler Peterson. The winner is Legion of Doom, who played Chris Cole. So it's just, you can't even guess, like, and I know they didn't intend, they're not doing it on purpose. They're just trying to, like, pick up the pieces of this mess they made, and I respect them with how they're doing it, because they are putting it back together and gonna finish out and hopefully have a finals on Go Skate Day on the Caffeine app. I don't know how they're gonna do that, because it's still, the Johnny Geiger and Jamie Griffin are still at round 1, haven't played yet.
Oh my god.
So the influence category is still at round 1, and they said there was like
seriously.
traveling issues with COVID and everything, so they don't know when they're gonna be able to play, but it made it hard for me to even predict like who's going to come out of each category, because I was like, and that's why this was so hard of a task for them to tackle, because it's like with pros, they're pros. This is what they do for a living. They travel, they compete in contests, they battle through injuries, they, reschedule due to injuries. But if it's all these influencers and Joes who aren't, they might have day jobs. They're YouTubers. They have like YouTube content they're doing. They're like, might not even want to be in the Berrics, because originally they had like Andy Schrock and Aaron Cairo and all these people, John Hill, who didn't even want to be in it. They just threw them in there and thought that it'd be like big surprise, like, whoa, you're honored to be in the Berrics. And then they're all like, no. So they had to just change the whole bracket. So those are some of my thoughts.
Yeah,
as to why this is my least favorite one.
That makes sense. See, that makes sense. And you're tapped in. That's why I wanted to hear your opinion. Like, for me, I was just like, yeah, but I didn't even look at it that closely. Like, I noticed what you meant about, like, I was like, dude, what is going on? Because they were from round 2, but I was like, Vinny Bond was one that I was hyped to see in the Berrics since they announced it. And they're already doing some round 2. And I'm like, dude, Vinny never played yet. He just played Shrimp Daddy. Or I think they're about to play. I saw. Yeah. That's another thing. They upload so much stuff about like up to like like battle talk, like whatever. Like I see. And like, now they so have
all the stuff with doing with the caffeine, where they have like all these what do they call them, head to head, or the unsanctioned games that they're doing on the caffeine. Yeah. I forget what they're calling them, but they're posting all about those too. So it's making it really tough to follow. Yeah. And that's like a testament to why it's unsuccessful, because I used to like anticipate like, oh, the next game, I can't wait for the next game to drop. Now I don't even care. Yeah. There's a handful of these games I ain't even watched. Yeah. Because I don't care.
Did Sonny beat Garrett?
Yeah.
Did he really?
He did, yeah.
Do you know who did Shrimp Daddy and Vinny play yet?
I didn't watch it. They have the video up, but I haven't watched it. I also didn't watch Nick Holt versus Felipe Mota. They uploaded that, but I haven't watched it.
Oh, right. Oh, I saw that too. I didn't watch it, but so I mean, did Luan and Kevin play, or Deshaun and Cody Cepeda?
Nope, not yet.
So those are tough games.
Yeah.
Looking at it, it's crazy. It escalates so quickly. It's like you start with so many people, but then it's like, oh, after...
Really trickles down.
It really trickles down.
Before you know it, it's semifinals.
Yeah, dude.
That's why, like, I kind of just looked at each category, and I'm thinking, with the names left, who do I think is going to, like, come out of the pros bracket? Who do I think is going to come out of the Joes bracket? And the names I came up with... So, look at the pros bracket. And if you're listening, if you're not a skater, I understand how you want to tune out right now. Totally fine. You don't know any of these names. But they have you can pull up the bracket and actually, like, follow along with us if you want to. But look at the pros bracket where... So, what I think Seva is going to be the top out of that one. Aurelian Giroux versus Seva is going to be a very good game. GoPro, start recording. Because both of them have bags of tricks that, like... are nice to the, like real sharp knives.
For sure.
But they also have like similar tricks. Like Seva's very good at hard flips and late flips, and Aurelian Giroux's death blow is hard flip, late flip. That's how he killed both his last games for E, was hard flip, late flip. But Seva might be able to do that trick. I've never seen him do it, but he might be able to do it. But I think Seva is going to come out of that bracket, and then out of the Joe's bracket, I really don't know. But I bet the final game is going to be Tyler Peterson versus Nick Holt. And I think I predicted. I actually have it brought up right here. I predicted that Tyler Peterson is gonna come out on top. True. Just because, like, seeing his last couple games, he's very good at flat ground, dude. Yeah. Very good. And then the one that I really don't have a guess for because of how crazy it's, like, evolved is the influencers category. Because Johnny Geiger could win the whole thing. Johnny Geiger's the best flat ground skater of all time, I think. Him and Jamie Griffin are both, like, if they land their tricks, they're winning. But they're also not conditioned to the nerves. Just like when they did pros versus Joes, Johnny Geiger was in that, but he lost because of the nerves. It's like incredible. You know, you're in the biggest flat ground contest in the world, and you're from Switzerland. Like, you know, you never been in that environment. Mm-hmm. So, but Johnny Geiger could win the whole thing. I don't even know if he's going to play at this point. So I just said
Jamie Griffin could too, bro. Jamie Griffin
yeah. But him too. He's never been in the Berrics. Yeah. I don't even know if he's been at the Berrics. I don't really know.
I don't know if he's been in the U.S.
I don't know. But I think just based on like, huh?
Imagine he lives in the U.S.
Yeah, he's like, what are you talking about? Well, I think the final game for that one, just based off the knowledge I have, is going to be Chris Chan versus Spencer Barton, and I think Spencer Barton's going to win because he's also someone that I don't know how conditioned he is with nerves. And
You're savage, bro. You actually think?
I think Vinny Bond's going to beat Shrimp Daddy.
Vinny?
Yeah, because Vinny Bond's incredible, but he's not that great of a flat ground skater.
You don't know him like that.
He can do a hard flip off of a drop first try, like no matter what. Nollie double heel off drops, but when it comes to flat ground, like. I think Spencer Barton could match anything. You know who should
be in the influencer list that would kill it? That's not Lewis Mora.
Yeah, he would. He's good at flat ground.
He's so
I wonder why he's not in it.
They put Garrett Jenner instead.
Because he's at the Berrics all the time. They got Garrett Jenner in there.
Is Lewis at the Berrics all the time? He probably goes to all the Keono
games. Kinosuke is on his team. Felipe Moto's on his team. He's been a judge for some of the Berrics games.
Felipe Moto's on a race.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. Yeah. He was in SLS, dude.
Yeah, dude. And Kinosuke or whatever is on Primitive now.
Yeah.
Both of them dudes are on Primitive.
Cool. What I'm going to say, I had a little bit different answers than you.
Well, last thing before you touch the icons, I think Chris Cole's coming out on top. Because if you look, Torrey Pudwill is out because he just had that ankle surgery. Highly doubt he's going to play the next game because he can't even... He just posted like a kickflip the other day and was like proud. P-Rod also is coming off an ankle injury, but he's just rolled his ankle, I think. But Nick Tucker's beating Kelly Hart for sure. Paul Rodriguez is probably going to beat whoever he plays.
Nick Tucker's beating Kelly Hart for sure.
Dude, he did a 360 inward heel the other day. He's beating sorry, Kelly, I love you.
Nick Tucker's really good at
shout out Nine Club. But P-Rod is beating whoever Torrey Pudwill's replacement is, I bet. P-Rod's one of the best flat ground of all time. So then I think it's going to be Nick Tucker versus P-Rod. I bet P-Rod's going to take it. He's going to be in the finals of that bracket. Chris Cole's beating Costin for sure. Love Costin, but Chris Cole's winning. And then it's going to be Chris Cole versus P-Rod, I think, for the end of that bracket. And I always have my money on Chris Cole. But that's who my thoughts.
I wouldn't say, I again take a different route than you.
Really? What are you thinking?
So I'll start with icons since we started there. Similar. I mean, Chris Cole will definitely take that bracket. He's beaten Eric Costin, no doubt.
That'll be a great game, though. That'll be really fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, yes and no. Eric Costin's that I did it had a like.
Oh yeah,
from years ago.
But he's also he's
a legend, but
him and Chris Cole are both good at dork tricks. That's why I think it's gonna be like a cool game to watch because they're gonna be pulling like pressure flips and stuff like that.
Dude, it's gonna be like, did you see the freaking Eric Costin versus Timmy Toe?
Yeah.
They're like, let's finish it on a zip zogger. I'm like, bro, it's Berrics, bro. Same with freaking Kelly Hart and Chris Roberts. Like, oh, they did give the win to Kelly.
Chris Roberts was like, do a different one. He's like, what if I can't do it?
Yeah, see, bro, come on.
But they're just goofing.
I know. But, and it's weird how somehow I feel like every single year, Legion of Doom has to face Chris Cole. Is that just because he's like the best? And then they never win either. Is that facts?
I forget who they played last year. Legion of Doom was in it last year, but I don't know who they played. Was it Chris Cole? I know they've played Chris Cole before.
Yeah, who is in the Legion of Doom?
It's
why are
originally
they in?
It was.
Would they ever make it to finals? No, it's not fair.
No, it's
Split
just.
10 Gs,
I think it's just
15
fun to
different
watch.
ways.
Whenever they need a fill-in, I think it's just fun to watch. Like a group of people, because last year the Legion of Doom was like Seva Krutkov, Manny Santiago, like just basically whoever was at the Berrics. It seems like, but it's cool to see like an army of people go against one dude. I think it was PJ Ladd who. Yeah. Last year was PJ Ladd. And he whooped him.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, and
I mean, you gotta be gnarly to go against a team of dudes. Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
insane.
and that's why it was so cool. If you listening haven't seen Chris Culver's Legion of Doom, go watch it. It just proves why my money's always going to be on Chris Cole. Go on, can you please stop? We're almost done. We're at the tail end of this. Please, you already went outside. You've peed on everyone's pee. You're victorious. Congratulations. But continue.
So I'm gonna say, but see, so that's where Chris comes out on the bottom, and I think P-Rod could come out on the top, but I honestly think out of those four, Paul Rodriguez, Torrey Pudwill, Nick Tucker, and Kelly, I would say that Nick Tucker has a good chance to, because if
I see that
Paul and Torrey,
he has insane tricks.
Paul and Torrey could go either way as well.
Torrey's not. He's not in it. He broke his ankle.
Wait, what? So who's Paul versus?
They haven't put in a sub yet, but whoever Paul is versing, Torrey Pudwill's not going to be in it because he just had ankle surgery like a couple months ago.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well,
so
right.
P-Rod's playing some alternative.
So P-Rod's probably gonna get up top. Let's just say that.
I'm just wondering where Shane went.
Unless it's P-Rod versus Shane.
Yeah, if they put Shane in instead, that changes things because then it might be Shane versus Nick Tucker. That's hard to judge. And then it's either Nick Tucker or Shane versus Chris Cole.
I think he just bumped the camera. I'm not 100%. I don't know if his tail just went in front of it.
Yeah, go ahead and do what you want, bub. Go ahead and do whatever you want.
Yeah, I would say Nick Tucker has a good chance to come out on that end, or at least be Nick Tucker versus Chris Cole. I don't really think that. I think Chris Cole would come out on top of that because I don't think he'd lose to Nick Tucker. But ew. Influencers, yeah, I really don't know. I would like to see Vinny Bond work his way up there.
You really think he'd beat Chris Chan when it came down to brass tacks, though?
I'd like to see it, man. I just know Vinny's story, and I think
it would be cool to see him.
I think nobody in the industry has put him on like as much as he deserves. He rips it on a skateboard, and I don't understand why, but yeah. Yeah, the fact that he's in the Berrics this year, I think that's cool. I'd like to see him go far. I think if it came down to brass tacks, honestly, he'd probably lose in a game of skate to Chris Chan. Chris Chan's got good flat ground for sure.
Spencer Barton. Spencer Barton is crazy good.
He's kind of fat. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just lying. That's messed up. Yeah, no, he is really good. He is really good.
I just haven't seen him skate.
Isn't he that YouTube guy that always does like the crazy edits?
Yeah.
You're in a rough territory right now.
Oh my gosh.
If that thing comes out that came out earlier, you for sure have pink eye.
For sure have pink eye.
Because there's some particles in there. And then pros too. We disagreed too.
Okay.
Joe's.
What do you think with the pros?
I don't really have much of an opinion on Joe's. I don't really know a lot of these guys. I'd probably say Tyler Peterson too because I did watch him play and he's killing it. So the fact that he's this far up, I'd say he could take it out of any of those other guys. I don't really know any of those other guys except for Kiyonosuke, and I just think his legs are too small to really hang with the big dogs. When it comes,
he's very consistent. Yeah, because there's some of these dudes that just have like death blow tricks like every try, like Seva and stuff. Yeah,
exactly. But pros. So Seva versus Aurelian, that could go either which way, man. Seva would probably come out on top, I'd imagine. If my money were to go anywhere, it would go to Seva. Deshaun and Cody, all of these could go either way. Luan and Kelvin could go definitely either way, but I'm going to say Luan's going to take it. Deshaun and Cody, I would say Cody would take that one.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say Luan's going to take Cody. And I'm going to say Luan could definitely take Seva.
You think so?
I would say that would be a great game. Great game. Luan's one of the best flat ground skaters I've ever seen in my life. Because he's also,
intimidating.
He is, exactly.
Because he goes full speed and
fast,
pops as high as
so
he can.
Gets it, yeah, so he gets in their head. They're like, I can do a kickflip like that. And
they're like,
they
I
mess
suck
up a
at skating.
kickflip.
Matter of fact, I suck at skating.
Exactly. Then they're like, wait, I messed up a kickflip? Yeah, what do I think? I can complete with Luan? No. And then,
I'm barely even rolling.
But Seva versus Luan would be a crazy game.
All that being said, I have My prediction for the final game is from the right side, it's going to be Chris Cole in the finals. And from the left side, I think Seva Krukov is going to be in the finals. I think the final game is going to be Seva versus Chris Cole. And that's going to, if that's the case, that's going to be an amazing game of skate.
Has that ever happened before?
No, they've never played each other.
Oh, they have to.
And Chris Cole hasn't been in a final match since probably one of the first Berrics, I don't think. And Seva has never won one. And that makes me think, I think my prediction for the whole Battle of the Berrics 12 is Seva Krukov is winning.
Wow.
Because
you're tapped in.
There's no way he has not won one. Because, dude, he's has so
good.
His nollie front foot flip is the best in the whole world, I think. Or like the best in the skate industry.
Stop.
He can do every... He can do bro, this is really getting hard, man. I'm going to have to probably put you in the room next episode. Like, this is every week now, man. This is every week now. You know, someone said, for a dog that doesn't listen at all, you're doing pretty good right now. And that hurt me because I'm like, Gohan listens. I had faith in you. You're proving me wrong. You're proving me wrong. His face, he's like, what? What? But yeah, I think Seva's going to take the whole thing because he deserves it. I think he's one of the best flat ground skaters of all time. He can do like tray double flip, hard flip, reverts in like all directions, all these late flips, all these like, I don't know. That's just my prediction.
That's a solid prediction. That's why I like having this conversation with you because you're tapped in. I didn't know Seva never won one.
Never. He's been in finals, but he's never won one.
I think that hunger has to do a lot with it. Yeah, I know he was in the finals. He was in the final game, right?
Yeah, I think he's been in the finals a couple of times. What if he has won one and Seva's like, what are you talking about?
Dude, I
won Battle of the Bears 8.
Who won the first Battle of the Bears? Mike Mo. And then Chris Cole won the second one. Wow. I remember watching that at Chris Janicki's house. Really?
Yes, I was because Chris Cole was my favorite skater. Seeing him in the finals, Chris didn't know as much about skating, so I was like showing him like, Chris Cole's the best skater of all time. Watch this. And we watched the game of skate together, and he's like, he is.
Wow. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah, dude. Woo! Hey.
There anything else you wanted to touch on, dude? Because I know we talked a lot of skating this episode. Seva did win one. I'm so stupid. Has
Luan?
Don't listen to me. Luan... This is just getting ridiculous. Mike Mo won the first one. Chris Cole. P-Rod won 2010. Morgan Smith. What happened to that guy? PJ Ladd, back to back.
Wow.
Cody Cepeda, Seva Krutkov. Final game was Shane O'Neill versus Seva. Diego Nahara won 2016. I don't remember that. Diego Nahara versus Mickey Papa. I'm sorry to the listeners, man. Like, I love dogs, and I hope you love dogs too, but this is ridiculous, man. I'm sorry that you're having to listen to this. Chris Jocelyn, 2017. Luan won 2018. He did.
Okay, true.
Well, I feel like a dum-dum. Seva won one.
7-1-1.
7-1-1.
Yeah, it's all good though, dude.
Right. I still think you could take it.
Yeah, dude. I agree with you. They could be doing better. I commend them for piecing it together. It was a crazy.
And I do love and respect what the Berrics do. I'm not like hating on them. I just think that they definitely bit off more than they could chew this year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that'd be sick. Regardless, even just looking at kind of the rough like quarterfinals that we see here, it'd be cool, man. I definitely could see it's either gonna be Seva, Chris is coming out the right side no matter what. Well, actually, I'm not gonna say that because if Shane is Tori's replacement, Shane could come out of there.
Yeah. For sure.
But other than that, I would say that Chris Cole or P-Rod, unless he's like just...
And it's like we always say, though, skating is skating. It could just come down to the day. Could. Someone could fall on a kickflip. It could
be an influencer and a Joe. And we're like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's going to be like Sunny Solchick versus like the Kinosuke.
We're like, oh, what? Yeah, but yeah, I would say, too, for my finals, it would be Chris Cole, Seva, or Chris, like my first thing would be Chris Cole, Luan, because I think that Luan would take it over any of that.
Yeah. One thing that is cool though is that list I just read of all the winners over past years. Almost all of them are still in it and like advancing.
For real.
Like they could be in the finals this year. And it's
I never heard of Morgan Smith though, the guy that won.
He's a Canadian guy that's very good at flat ground, but I don't know where he's been. I don't know what. I haven't heard from him in a long time. Maybe he's just kicking it, skating in
Did
Canada.
every year they do something different, or was it kind of?
I'm pretty sure every year. I think maybe the first 3 they didn't do. I think it was just Battle of the Berrics because it was just new. But every year, pretty much, they switch up the theme to where there's some sort of...
Watching old Battle of the Berrics is so funny. Like, if you've seen, like, where the old, like, what were the old... It was, like, was it Billy Marks and, like, Chris Cole games?
Billy Marks and Chris Cole was a legendary one.
Yeah,
Chris Cole versus Mike Vallely was a legendary one from back in the day.
And they were playing in the old Berrics, which was, like, a old... like, and the old rundown camera. It looks like a VX.
And they edited it way different to where, like, they would do the tricks, like... If you watch the finals, it's like there's barely any roll up and barely any roll away to where it's like kick flip, heel flip, nollie flip. But now it's like you see the whole roll up and you see the roll away and they say something to each other and like it's edited way different.
The finals game is like 2.5 minutes long.
No, for real. It was like that. It was like basically just the content, the just, bottom line.
Yeah.
Just the skate tricks.
Yeah, now it's hype to it too, Now there's like got a whole crowd there.
Yeah.
It's like a whole thing. Now they're doing it on like premiering it on an app.
It's
crazy.
I love skateboarding, man. Just talking about Street League and how Rob Dyrdek has like pioneered that whole contest circuit and now that's like the contest everyone looks to and kids look to and the best skaters skate at and same with the Berrics. Like they pioneered that.
Isn't it crazy though to think like how Rob's a businessman at the end of the day.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Mogul.
Yeah, but isn't it crazy how bro, like Rob, like pull up to Jacksonville, dog. Like we didn't see you at Jacksonville. Like
wasn't even there because he sold it.
I know, but like your heart's still gonna be like curious about it. You feel me? I wonder if he pops out to like the ones in Cali and stuff like that.
I don't know. I wonder what his day to day is like.
I watch Ridiculousness sometimes.
He still does that on the daily, huh?
They don't make new episodes anymore, I don't think. I think they stopped. But it's all that is ever on MTV. Like, bro, he probably makes bread off that show. Like, just off residual, like, just checks. But he talks, like, he had mentioned Street League in one episode. And I think, I don't know if they had, like, a skater or somebody on what it was like. But I was just thinking. It got me thinking. I was like, do you still think about Street League? Like, dude, you've created something beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
that's now led to the Olympics. Like, the Street League is what qualifies, like, one of the contest qualifying people to go to the Olympics.
And it changed my life, dude. It changed how I perceive skating.
Yeah.
Like, any skater who has not yet been to a Street League, go to the nearest one. Like, they just
the energy is different.
Literally, right now, well, after this episode's over, go to your website, go to the Street League website, and just look it up. Even if you don't skate, but you're into skating,
amazing.
This is the best thing you could do. It's so fun.
And like, just looking at the athleticism and like the capabilities of these people, dude, it's just like awe-inspiring. It makes you want to go. It's like, why can't I go out and kickflip front blunt flat bar? He just did it down a 12-stair rail first try. Yeah. Because they're scared. That's the thing is like they don't do that in their normal life. They're fueled by this contest. They're fueled by their peers that are killing it. They're fueled by the crowd yelling at them, and they're fueled by the pressure. And that's why they can do this stuff first try. If it was just at their local skate park with 2 dudes around them, they're not doing back 360 nose blunts first try.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
No, exactly. It's true. It's true. It's true, dude.
And they're all on YouTube. I've been having a good time just like whenever I'm like working in my room or doing something like that, just turning on Street League. Just like people turn on football games and like watch football games, I'm watching Street League and like looking at the leaderboard ticking away and seeing the different dudes that are like in the finals each year and like it's awesome. I love skateboarding so much.
Me too, dude. I love how you do that. Yeah, I love skateboarding. Jacksonville changed my life. Going there, I'm hyped to go back, man. Battle of the Berrics. You guys are killing it. Shout out skateboarding.
And shout out your shirt. The 9 Club, I feel like, is one of those pillars of skateboarding right now, too. GoPro,
start recording.
One of the pillars of skating right now.
GoPro, start recording.
GoPro, start recording. It has a new master.
Now!
Gotta get to whipping.
It's probably probably so loud for the listeners. My bad.
Sorry.
Yes. Whoa. Yeah, no, the 9 Club has been killing it. What they've done, dude.
It's beautiful.
Been crazy, dude. Been crazy for worldwide and for me too, for us too. Like it's so cool to like, cause you're the only person that I actually know that listens to the 9 Club like me. And Nick Sarago, when we interviewed him, he said I've only missed like a handful of episodes, and I was like, that's love right there. But seeing it in Jacksonville, like when we went to Jacksonville, like so you and I can have the conversations about like, oh, did you watch this episode? But like seeing it in Jacksonville, dude, everybody, like when Deshaun Jordan rolled by, like there's like kids yelling, that's facts, because like his 9 Club, and just like all this, I'm like, dude, it's huge. It's way bigger than like a new episode every week. It's like,
because no one's done it like that before. Like the level, the amount of time they've been doing it, and the catalog they've built of like all these different prose stories, and like it's not like an interview where it's like, what was it like skating El Toro? And then it's like 1 to 2 minutes for your answer. It's like just like casually just talking back and forth and like making jokes and just like hanging out. And that's like what skateboarding is, you know, hanging out at the skate shop and just like talking to people and like swapping stories, talking about tricks you tried, tricks you did. It's like what they do is really awesome. Very organic.
Yeah, dude.
And supporting skateboarding like no one else, dude. For real.
Oh, for sure.
I was thinking the fact that they do a giveaway on the experience every single week, and the things they give away, bro. Last couple weeks they've given away 3 boards.
I know.
To each person.
Yeah, literally.
To each winner.
3 boards,
3 packs of wheels,
3 trucks or something.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what?
That's amazing. Just
amazing.
for donating, just for like listening.
And kids donate like $1 and win.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, what?
Yeah. And it's just building community because they're all in there in the chat, talking, swapping, you know, partaking in the conversations that all the dudes are having at the table, donating some money, and then GoPro start recording.
What's going on with these things, bro? What's going on with these things, dude?
I hope y'all appreciate the fact that we're self-produced for 2 years. Because, gosh darn it, is this hard sometimes.
Yes, sir.
Gohan the intern's finally rolled out as we're wrapping up the episode.
Yeah, he
has to put his 2 cents in. He was just putting in 2 cents on the Berrics. He's like, no, P-Rod's taking it. Are you kidding me? P-Rod.
I know, right? I know. Nah, but yeah, we appreciate you. Anyone who watched, listened, viewed, subscribed, we appreciate it. If you watched, viewed, listened, viewed, subscribed, and you didn't subscribe, and I ask you to subscribe right now. We need the subscribers.
If you don't watch YouTube, or I mean, if you don't have time for podcasts, we got little short snippets on Insta. He heard his name. We got short snippets on Instagram.
No.
If you just want to see some highlights. Especially if you live around here, if you live in the Southwest Florida area, particularly Fort Myers, Estero, things are brewing around here, man. Just for creatives in general, but particularly in our you know, sphere of peers is in the skateboard scene. So things are brewing around here, man. Spots are popping up. Hopefully, skate parks are gonna start popping up. Brands are popping up. Skate videos are popping up. Shout out Tiles Skate, dude. Awesome video we watched the other day on YouTube.
Yeah, shout out that was sick, dude.
And there's skaters killing it, man. There's pros visiting our town. There's like a lot happening, man. And I feel like it's gonna keep growing. So if you live in this area and you skateboard, shout out you, because we're doing it, man. We're doing it, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
I love skateboarding.
Shout out Roadrunner.
AJ.
Yeah, shout out AJ.
Shout out Ride Nature and Mark and everything they do.
Yeah, Madhouse.
Madhouse, all those guys.
GoPro's mad at us. But
Yeah,
we're
it can stay off.
Yeah, we're done. Brian,
that's the producer showing the time to us. It's like, guys,
guys,
hour and 10, hour and 10.
Yeah, but we appreciate you wholeheartedly. Gonna be skaters supporting skaters. We're repping it, man. Shout out the 9 Club. Shout out everybody. Shout out everybody who listened to this. Share it with a friend.
God bless you.
Share it on Instagram.
The Lord's moving in this area, man.
Amen.
Moving all over the world.
Yes, sir. Hit him with that outro biscuit.